Good morning, children. Sairam. Uh, so, welcome back to our English class. And today we'll be continuing with our lesson number 15, The Ugly Duckling. It's part 2 today. It is part 2. So, we learned some new words and frame the sentence from the lesson, and we also did the first page of the lesson. And today let us continue the lesson. So it's a beautiful story about the ducklings, right? So the author of this, the writer, is Hans Christian Andersen. And so what we did in part 1, so let us quickly revise. So where did the ducklings live? They lived in an old farm. And what was a mother duckling doing? It was sitting on a batch of new eggs. And what happened one nice morning? The eggs hatched. And what came out? 4 chirpy ducklings. And how many eggs were there? 5 were there. And one was bigger. How many eggs hatched? 4 eggs hatched and 1 egg did not hatch. So what sound was coming from that egg? Tick tock. And something came out from that shell. And how was it looking? It was looking grey color, green color. That is why mother duck was wondered. Why the mother duck was wondered? The other ducklings were looking yellow and one duckling was looking, it had a strange look with grey feathers. So the mother duck was worried. And then the mother was confused and worried. How this duckling can be of mine? So she said to herself, so I can't understand how this duckling can be one of mine. Who said? Mother duckling said to herself. Who said to whom? So mother duckling said to herself. Okay. Now let us continue with the story. Now here is a picture you can see. Mother duckling and one baby duck who is looking green color, and the others were looking beautiful with yellow color. Okay. Now let us see what happened now. Okay. Now children, make sure that you are sitting with your textbook, or you can watch the video also. It's quite clear. So let's begin our part 2 now. So page number 128, 128. Okay. The ducklings grew quickly, but mother duck had a secret worry. Well, the grey duckling certainly wasn't pretty and Since he ate far more than his brothers, he was outgrowing them. As the days went by, the poor ugly duckling became more and more unhappy. His brothers didn't want to play with him. He was so clumsy, and all the others on the farm laughed at him. He felt sad and lonely, while Mother Duck did her best not to hurt him in any way. So the ducklings were growing very quickly, but Mother Duck, she had a secret worriness, means she was always sad looking at this great duckling. Why? Because it was eating so much compared to other ducklings. And as the days went, the poor ugly duckling, this ugly duckling was also unhappy because his siblings were not playing with him and his brother didn't want to play with him. He was so clumsy. Clumsy means he was so awkward. He was feeling ashamed because nobody was talking to him properly. Nobody was playing with him. And since he was looking ugly, he was feeling so awkward. And the other animals on the farm laughed at him. So this baby duckling, this grey color baby duckling, he was feeling very sad. But Mother Duck was doing her best not to hurt this ugly duckling in any way. Now let's continue. Poor little ugly duckling, she would say, "Why are you so different from the others?" And the ugly duckling felt worse than ever. He secretly wept at night. He felt that nobody wanted him. See what happened? This mother duckling is saying, "Poor ugly duckling, why are you looking so ugly? Why are you looking so different?" So this ugly duckling was weeping, crying secretly at night. And he was feeling that nobody wanted him. And let's see what happened now. "Nobody loves me. They all tease me. Why am I different from my brothers?" Then one day at sunrise, he ran away from the farmyard. He stopped at a pond and began to question all the other birds. "Do you know any duckling with grey feathers like mine?" But everyone shook their heads. So what happened one day? He left his home, and because everybody was teasing him and he was asking himself, "Why am I different from my brothers?" So he left the farmyard and he stopped near the pond, and to whomever it is seeing, the birds, the other animals, and started to ask that, "Have you seen any grey feathers like me?" So everybody shook their heads. See how it is asking? So this baby bird is asking the other birds, "Have you seen any birds like grey color feather with grey color feather?" Okay, now let's move on to next page. We don't know anyone as ugly as you, they said. The ugly duckling did not lose heart, however, and kept on asking. So, what did the other birds answer? They said that we don't know anyone as ugly as you. But this poor duckling, this poor little duckling did not lose any confidence, did not lose his heart. And he kept on asking the other bird the same question. What question? Have you seen any birds with grey feathers? Now next. He walked and walked as far away as he could, and at dawn he found himself in a thick bed of reeds. If nobody wants me, I'll hide here forever. So what happened one day? He was walking, and during the dawn, so he found himself in the thick bed of reeds. Means the water plants which is grown there, it is very thick. Reeds means the plants, stiff plants which grows near a pond or a lake. If nobody wants me, I'll hide here forever. There was plenty of food, and the duckling began to feel a little happier, though he was lonely. One day at sunrise, he saw a flight of beautiful birds fly overhead. White, with long slender necks, yellow beaks and large wings, they were migrating south. Now see what happened? This poor little duck, he hid himself there and he found plenty of food there. And he was little happier there because he can not stay with hungry because he was having lot of food there. And one day at sunrise, means early morning, he saw some birds flying towards the south. They were migrating. So these birds were white in color with long slender neck. They have long neck. Slender means the necks are very thin and delicate, with yellow beaks and large wings. And next, if only I could look like them just for a day, said the duckling admiringly. So this grey feathered ugly duckling was admiring those white birds and said to himself, just for one day, if I could look like them. So he will feel very happy, right? So winter came and the water in the reed bed froze. The poor duckling left home to seek food in the snow. He dropped tired to the ground, but a farmer found him and put him in his big jacket pocket. Oh my God, see what happened. So winter came and the water was, and the reeds were froze. They became it was covered with snow. And this poor duckling, he left to seek food in the snow. So it went out for searching the food. So he dropped tired to the ground. He became so tired searching for the food. And there A farmer saw this bird, this ugly duckling, and he picked it up and put him in his jacket pocket. I'll take him home to my children. They'll look after him. Poor thing, he's frozen. The duckling was showered with love and care at the farmer's house. In this way, the ugly duckling was able to survive the bitterly cold winter. So what happened? So the farmer took this bird, took this ugly duckling to his home so that his children will take care of him. And those children, they showered with him with love and plenty of food. So in this way, the ugly duckling was survived and throughout the winter. Now, however, by springtime, he had grown so big that the farmer decided, I'll set him free by the pond. That was when the duckling saw his reflection in the water. So what happened? So after the winter season, springtime started, and during this whole winter season, this ugly duckling, it grew little bigger, and the farmer decided to leave it near the pond. So you can see the reflection in the water, right? So when this farmer took this bird near the farm, so what happened? Goodness! Who said? This ugly duckling. How I have changed. I hardly recognize myself. So who said all these words? This ugly duckling said to himself. The flight of swans winged north again and glided onto the pond. So from the south, the swans were coming back towards the north, and they glided onto the pond. So near the pond, these swans, the flight of swans means, yes, lot of birds, lot of swans. So they glided onto the pond. When the duckling saw them, he realized he was one of their kind and soon made friends. So when this ugly duckling saw the flight of swans in the pond, so this ugly duckling was looking same like them. So he started making friends. So look here. So can you see here? So all other swans, they are swans. So this ugly duckling was also looking like them, and so he made friends. So they have a long, slender neck, thin neck. Okay, so the same, they both were, he was looking like them. So he made friends with them. Now what happened? We are swans like you, they said warmly. So what they said? We are swans like you, they said warmly. Where have you been hiding? It's a long story, replied the young swan, still astonished. Now he swam majestically with his fellow swans. One day he heard children on the river bank saying, "Look at the young swan. He is the finest of them all." And he almost burst with happiness. Wow. See what happened? So those birds were saying, we are swans like you. So where were you for so many days? Where were you hiding? The ugly duckling said, it's a long story. And still this ugly duckling could not believe. He was astonished. Means he was surprised. And he swam majestically, means so proudly, so beautifully. He was swimming along with the other swans. And one day he heard some children saying that, look at that young swan, so beautiful it is. It is the beautiful, most finest among all other birds. So this ugly duckling felt too happy. He was almost burst with happiness. So in the beginning it was weeping, it was very sad because he was looking very ugly. But when he grew up, so he himself cannot believe how much beautiful he is. So, understood children the story? It's a beautiful story. So we should not tease others. And if we also look ugly, but we have some talents among us. So when you grow up, when you are mastered in your skills, you will also shine in the world. So never judge anybody with their appearance. So what do we learn from this story? Never tease or never judge anyone with their appearance. With their appearance means with their look. Okay, so because they will be the best among everybody. So children, in the next session we'll do some textbook activities and some answer the following. So till then, read the lesson and practice the lesson for your reading exam, and we'll also do practice in our live session. So until then, bye bye.